before my daughter was born, we found out the 20-week scan she had a heart problem.
Oh, right.
So she needed open heart surgery. I'm like looking at Finch going, I think I'm a better player than you, to be fair. I'd love to see, honestly, and this I've started thinking this more and more, is like the three of us on the seniors tour in 10 years.
Oh, yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 52 of the Birdie Golf Club Podcast. I am grateful you are all here. I cannot wait to get to this week's guest, who you may have been able to spot from, obviously, the title of this episode, Andy Carter. But before we do, just a quick message from our sponsors. We're in the year 2025, soon to be 2026, and you know what your most precious commodity is? Something we wouldn't have dreamed of in the 90s. It's actually your data, and companies are harvesting that data. They're using it to promote ads to you. They are selling your data, and it happens day in, day out. So make sure you protect yourself out there. With a NordVPN account, you can make sure that your data stays private to you. You can even change what country you want to appear to be in to maybe get better deals or access Netflix from the US or Netflix from Spain. NordVPN is a great tool to add to your online arsenal. And you can click the link in the description below and you can get yourself a fantastic deal through the podcast, which helps support the podcast and enables you to be safer online. Click the link below, and currently NordVPN have an amazing Black Friday sale on where I think you get 74% off a yearly subscription. Stay safe online. Make sure you're making the most of your online privacy with NordVPN. ShotScope is the tool that you don't have in your bag yet, and the one that you need. Whether you like wearing a watch on the course, whether you like using rangefinders, whether you just like having the tags on your clubs to know your distances, ShotScope gives you all of that. Before using ShotScope, I was unaware of the best parts of my game and the worst parts of my game, but using their watch and their rangefinder has enabled me to work out where I need to improve, using shots gained data to accurately see where I can improve, and I want that for you too. So if you use the code Birdie Golf Club on the ShotScope website, that will get you 15% off the entire range. So make sure to head to the checkout, put in whatever ShotScope product you want, enter code Birdie Golf Club, and you will get yourself 15% off. It helps support the podcast and can help improve your game. I'm cold, you're cold, winter golf is very much here, so let's dream of a better place. Or even better than dream, let's go to a better place. If you use code Birdie Double Points at Golf Escapes, it will get you double escape points on your next trip. And you can book a trip, be away in the sunshine, enjoying the beautiful weather, the fantastic golf and beautiful amenities of some of their incredible hotels that they have listed. Golf Escapes will handle the whole thing. They'll set the entire package up and you can enjoy every single moment without a worry. I used Golf Escapes to book my trip to East Sussex National recently for just a brief break, and everything was handled perfectly, to my golfing for the weekend, to my wife enjoying a beautiful spa treatment whilst I was out on course. Peace of mind, just a fantastic experience and a great team over at Golf Escapes. Head over there now, use code Birdie Double Points to get yourself double escape points on your next trip. So shortly we will get to Andy and obviously the fantastic chat that we had. It was a great privilege to have Andy on the channel. It was someone that I've watched in the YouTube space for a very long time, going back to the days of Carter, Fryer and Finch, obviously all playing together, and I think even Shields back in the day as well. So it was a great privilege to have Andy on, both obviously affiliated with ShotScope. So thank you to ShotScope for setting everything up on that front as well. But before we get to the episode with Andy, obviously we've had some stuff happen in the world of golf that I just wanted to briefly talk about. Obviously with the DP World Tour Championship Finals happening this weekend. Great drama. I was trying to watch it all as best I could on a busy sort of like family day. I think you can all appreciate that that's not always the easiest thing to do. So I sort of missed a lot of the drama, to be totally honest, and had to catch up with it on the highlights. It's sort of, from about the 14th hole, it looked like Rory was just building that unstoppable momentum that he normally does and was going to run away with it. So when I eventually caught back up and saw that him and Fitzpatrick had gone to a playoff, And then the drama of obviously Rory had to make eagle to get to that playoff. It showed I missed some really great golf. So I'm planning on catching up a little bit more with the highlights if they are watchable this time. But yeah, I thought it was really cool because it's always kind of cool to see Rory lifting both trophies at the end of the year and showing how dominant he is in the space. But always nice to see friends, Ryder Cup sort of. I think they've ever partnered each other in the Ryder Cup, but certainly Ryder Cup teammates, being able to share that moment together. And I thought it was a really great advert for the DP World Tour. One that further highlights what me and Andy talk about in this episode, of why the DP World Tour isn't the premier place for great golf. It should be. And that's something that we get to, and how maybe the DP World Tour could do that. Difficult. But that was cool nonetheless. We obviously had all of the drama from the YouTube space with the Internet Invitational. I haven't covered a lot of the topics on it because I think it's been pretty well covered and I don't know what to add to it. And there was obviously some cheating controversy that goes on, which I think, to be fair, it was obviously great for the content side of things, wasn't it? When you look at what Barstool try and do, they try and have as much controversy as possible. And if that can happen organically, great. If it can be forced, let it be. That's sort of the way they run things. But I thought it pretty well summed up the struggles that most people have playing golf with others, whether that be friends, whether that be, if you turn up to a course and playing with someone for the first time, is like, how much do you care about how they uphold the integrity of the game? And obviously, with $1 million on the line, you're going to care about it quite a lot. And I thought that there was just so much to dissect on that. And did Malossi cheat? Did he not cheat? I thought it was actually, in the end, handled pretty well, and the only way you can in the golf space. If there's some way of it being deniable, then you have to just ask somebody a question. If they say no, well, that's it. End of. And yeah, I thought in that way that was handled quite well. But generally, to finish the way it did, and to finish with obviously Dalkey's team winning, which obviously had Beef in that team, and obviously with the news that Beef passed away in the day the Internet Invitational dropped, it was a really fitting ending. And I thought it was actually handled really, really classily by the editors from the Barstool 4-player world and everything like that. I thought having that attributed to Beef at the end and everything he was saying about paying off his parents' mortgage, and it was actually a really wholesome way to end what was quite a bitter match in the end. So I thought what was interesting from it, you can now see that there's a whole sort of area of YouTube golf that hasn't been explored yet, that very serious, long form, large YouTube video, which is going to be very difficult to recreate unless you've got, quite a bit of money to be able to make that happen, which obviously Dave Portnoy does. So I think it'll be great. I think it'll be a great yearly thing to see happen. I think there could be too much of it, which could be an oversaturation. I think having it as something that you look forward to and to see it grow year on year out is great. But, it won't be for everyone. Yeah, it's one of those things. But if it's additive to the golf space and promotes golf in a positive way, then fine by me. But I think that's pretty much it. As far as my own golf, getting worse week in, week out, but that's fine. We're working, we're trying to make things better, and things normally get worse before they get better. So that's what I'm keeping in mind. But you know what? That's enough. You're all here for one man and one man only, and I recognise that, and I'm fine with it. So let's get to the episode with one of the YouTube OG British golf content creators. I feel like he's that first infinity stone that I'm getting from the gauntlet of original British YouTubers. So without any further ado, let's head to the interview with Andy Carter. Where are you plying your trade nowadays? Because there was a time where I saw you in Dubai and doing quite a bit of work. Whereabouts are you working now?
Right now I'm in my garage. This is pretty much where I work, the glamorous garage. Yeah, life's changed a hell of a lot in the last 4 years. I was in Dubai for 4 years prior, coaching at the Pete Cowan Academy. Mm-hmm. And then circumstances brought us back to the UK. And we ended up just staying, to be honest. I now work, my daughter was, when before my daughter was born, we found out the 20-week scan she had a heart problem.
Oh, right.
So she needed open heart surgery. 2 of her valves in her heart were the wrong way around. So we came back to the UK for the surgery, and then a couple of complications later, we've ended up staying. She's all good now,
Oh,
thankfully.
great.
And then during that time, I'd kind of obviously knew it was coming. I'd banked 6 months worth of YouTube content, and I started kind of going down the online coaching process whilst I was kind of just in the hospital every day.
Yeah.
And then for 3 months, I kind of got to a point where I was kind of like, actually, this has got potential. So I kind of stuck with it, and here I am. We now live just outside of Bristol and bought a house, converted a garage into a golf sim. This is my office, and this is just now what I do full time, which I'm absolutely loving.
Yes, mate. Oh, first of all, mate, I'm so happy to hear that everything's okay with your daughter. It must have been a really terrifying time of what should be such an exciting time for all that to happen.
Yeah,
and especially that, and then having to bring everything over to the UK as well. It's a whole other thing, isn't it? So, yeah.
I mean, it's mad. I know you got family and stuff. Once you've, I mean, when you're expecting your first kid, you're probably, most people are, you're both in jobs, you go on maternity leave, you've got your house, you've got your setup, you've got everything ready. We were technically both unemployed, houseless, living at the missus's parents, which was actually really good. They were amazing.
Yeah.
Completely just like, okay, what the hell do we do now?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
crazy times. But you know what? They are sent to test you, and feel like we passed the test.
Oh yeah.
And now we've got another one. Little Luke is 6 months old, so now we've got 2 of them there in double trouble.
Hey, I know what that's like. That's where I'm at the moment. I've got a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old, so yeah. You have that constant thing of people.
I feel like you're out of the trenches a little bit more.
I don't know.
Well, there's new problems.
yeah, it's a whole new set of issues. That's the problem. Yeah. And you always have people say, "Oh, wait until the next thing." Oh, wait until the next thing. You think, well, when does it end? When's it all going to be all right?
It's just a constant fear factor, isn't it?
Yeah. There are people with like 25-year-olds that are like, "Oh no, it doesn't get any easier." It's like it must get easier at that point.
Yeah, felt out of prison. Oh, for God's sake.
So yeah, I feel your pain there, but it's cool though. That must have been, in some ways now with this new approach that you're going down of like the online coaching sort of route as well, and obviously the way apps like Skillist and stuff like that have opened up a whole new way for coaches like yourself, especially as well-known coaches, to get clients from all over the world. How have you found that? Do you enjoy it, or is it still like a bit of a grind in that sense?
No, I love it. I absolutely love it. You know what? I'm coaching. I mean, even this evening now, just as I've got a brain like a sieve. If I open up my app, I've just done lessons to 2 to the UK, US, 1 to Ireland, 1 to, I think he's Norway, an English lad in the US, Canada, and Australia. He's in Melbourne. I was like, and yes, last night was Mexico and the US and India. It's like, it's madness.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting, like learning, just meeting different people. We do regular Zoom calls. We chat. You learn about how different people. I kind of had that experience anyway, because obviously being in Dubai, you are literally the center hub of the world. It feels like, and you're coaching, and that's what I loved about when I first moved to Dubai. I would kind of go from French guy would walk in, then followed by an Indian guy, then a guy from the UK, then the US. It's so diverse. That was kind of what I really enjoyed, that challenge when I got to Dubai. So I feel like I've got a little bit of a head start on being able to kind of associate with different people quite regularly, which has been great. And yeah, just the whole from purely from a business perspective, it's been good. But I genuinely just believe that I've got guys that I coach in person. I've got you guys in the UK that I coach on the app that sometimes make the trip down to Bristol maybe once a quarter for a kind of bit of a 3 or 4 hour intense sort of session as well. So I think it just really works. It just works really well. For, again, time restraints. I couldn't imagine now with 2 kids trying to book I'm trying to book in for the gym, and the only time I can go to the gym is at 9 o'clock in the morning after I've done a drop off. So I couldn't imagine then trying to book in golf lessons, etc. It's hard to kind of dedicate that much time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I found the gym that is literally like 30-second walk away.
Perfect.
And that's if I'm walking slowly.
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine then driving an hour to a lesson or driving an hour to somewhere, spending an hour there. And maybe if you're going to do a golf lesson properly, you want to turn up half an hour before, have a warm up. And realistically, you should be staying for half an hour after to kind of grind some moves in. Not so much hit balls, but grind some moves in while it's really fresh in your brain. So a golf lesson really should be a minimum 2 hours plus travel.
Yeah.
How many people have got that much time?
Yeah, 100%.
So I mean, this is I can be as in depth or not as what people want on this. A normal lesson, I'll send them 15 minutes worth of video, including analysis and a video of myself, and I'll demonstrate shots, and I'll just talk to the cameras if they were in the room with me.
And do you think
it's like a one-way conversation?
Yeah, do you think that's probably like more actual, as far as like instruction goes? That 15 minutes is probably more than what you would be able to actually give during a lesson, right? I'd have thought like actual dedicated instruction.
Yeah, I think the retention of what you can get in a 1 hour lessons, 5 or 10 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it's also then, I mean, I still do in-person lessons, so I'm not going to like
No.
dump on it too much. But what I do now in in-person lessons, I almost record the whole session. I'm mic'd up for an in-person lesson, and as soon as I start explaining something, I press record. So then they probably leave with about 20 minutes worth of content from a lesson, as opposed to what I used to do was at the end of the lesson do a 2-minute recap. And like I'm recapping 2 minutes, and I've just give you 50 minutes of gold.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, so it is hard, isn't it? So it's just trying to find ways and being able to give as much value, and also they can retain as much information as possible as well.
Do you find it really tests your skills as a coach as well, having these people from all over the world and essentially the different challenges they're facing in their golf game based on their location? Is that like something that you found that you enjoyed with it as well, or is it?
Not massively, if I'm honest. I was never really hands-on, so I was never, some people are, a coach that would like move and put you into position. I never really did that anyway. We also worked through COVID in Dubai, so you kind of weren't allowed, they kind of put a stop to that anyway. So COVID's probably gave a lot of people a bit of a head start anyway, because you couldn't jump in and start moving people around.
Yeah.
But I've never really been that type of coach. I don't want to jump in and start getting into your personal space and moving you around. You do it yourself. I'll tell you how to do it.
Gonna be one of those creepy sort of touchy-feely coaches. It's not really what you want.
I'm not going to stand behind you and get your posture sorted. You can do that yourself.
It's all in the hips. Oh, it's interesting because like listening to the stories of like I put you in with that group of like original sort of British sort of YouTubers that really took to the space of golf to increase their output when they could give lessons. And that was kind of the story across the board, wasn't it, with the guys that started up. And it's interesting now to see it come sort of full circle to the fact that actually with the advent of things like Skillist and people being able to get into that it's actually done exactly what I'm guessing was the reason you first sort of got into it, along like sort of like Peter Finch, Rich Shields. They're all doing that for cause their lessons to explode essentially, and now it's having that effect in your coaching space.
Yeah, it's kind of doing it again, isn't it? Just in a different world. We originally started it to raise your own profile and your own marketing for your in-person coaching. And now it's definitely given me the head start on a fair few coaches that are on the app that are struggling to get any sort of foothold. I'm lucky enough to, I don't get massive views, but I get consistent views. And I think from a coaching perspective, you only need 50 people out of maybe last video had 7,000 or 8,000 views. 50 people out of them to start signing up, not every time, just once, and then you kind of you're making a good living. So yeah, it's definitely served and still is serving that purpose.
Yeah, which is good. Would you say your passion now, because obviously you've seen guys go from coaching being their passion to YouTube being their passion? I've always got the impression from watching you, like in the best way I mean this as well, that coaching has always been your passion, and YouTube, you've got the sense that you enjoy it, but it's a means because you love the coaching side of things. Do you know what I'm saying by that? I've come across wrong.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've never been. I would say literally up until I moved back to the UK, I was never consistent uploading. I would go, especially in Dubai, when I was a single lad in Dubai. The last thing I needed to do was add to my workload. So I didn't have time to do that. So I would go 6 months without posting. I would start posting again when I came home for the summer.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got a good following there, so I need to start utilizing it. So then I wouldn't. So now, since I've come back to the UK, I've probably barely missed a week's upload. I've probably posted I've probably not missed a post. Sometimes I'll do 3 a week, and sometimes I'll do 1. So I'm probably not always consistent with how many, but I probably don't think I've missed a week. And in terms of the passion, I think I've always been a coach. I've always seen myself as a coach. I'll never expect my YouTube channel to keep me alive, keep the family alive, keep us at the roof over our heads. It's definitely not my one. But this year, I've certainly going into 2026. I've kind of been inspired, to be fair, by Pete Finch. My game for the past kind of 3 years has been crap. Like, bar the odd nice round of golf, it's not been great. And that is just because I've not been able to play golf. I've not been able to practice. I've not wanted to practice. I've obviously got the YouTube channel. I've got my coaching business. I own a travel business in Dubai as well, and we host events throughout the winter. So I've already got 3 things on the go. So there's no, plus the family. So there's no way I'm practicing golf to keep it at maybe. I've always been lucky enough to keep myself at a relatively okay level. Yeah. And there's definitely an element of turning up and going, fingers crossed I play well. And then it's just been getting through it. And sometimes I play great. Yeah. And in fact, I've always kind of prided myself in a way of, I'm never really that bad. You know, I've never filmed myself and then ended up shooting like 82 or something, or I've always been like, a bad round has been a 78 or something, or a 77. So 79, whatever. But I've never been that bad, I don't think. So I've always been able to kind of just get away with it. But also now seeing Finch, he's doing incredible. His game is just another level. And I'm like looking at Finch going, I think I'm a better player than you, to be fair. So now I'm going to start practicing. So I've hired a videographer. I've hired an editor. Right. We've already started filming. There's a brand new series coming out starting from January, once a month, the first Sunday of every month. The series called The Road Back, which is basically documenting my road back to being good at golf again.
Okay.
Or how do I
rephrase that?
Being better at golf. Yeah. Good at golf. So much. She was trying to get on tour. I'm not trying to get on tour. I'm just trying to play where I'm not panicking about how bad I might play. Yeah. And I'm just trying to play to a level that keeps me happy. And I'd like to play. I've got 3 pro-ams in the winter's months coming up. I'd like to play a couple of overseas events. I'm probably not going to play any regional stuff like what Pete does. Again, time management will dictate that. But I will be filming what I'd class as like a top vlog per month. So last month, October, we got the chance to go and play Rockcliffe Hall, which is the longest golf course in the UK. I played awesome. I shot 2 under. And with one, literally bogeyed the first, and then 3 birdies from there, which completely shocked the hell out of me, to be honest. And I've actually played really well since as well. I've got a video coming out this month. I filmed with TalkSport, and I filmed against Jamie O'Hara.
Oh, right, okay.
Ex-footballer. Yeah. Next week, I'm off to Dubai, and I'm filming with Rachel Drummond. So that video will be out in December. So we're gonna get one like really good kind of vlog per month, and obviously then with the Road Back series, we'll have 2 kind of stalwarts of the channel. I think first and last Sunday of every month, and sandwiched in between that, we'll get the coaching tips still out there as well. So yeah, I'm excited for a busy year actually, coinciding with everything else I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna say sounds like busy already, and then sort of it adds another. But having that like videographer and video editor and stuff like that just at least takes that side of things off your plate, because
takes a lot
I know
off.
doing like this is very simple on the editing front. I do a little bit of Instagram stuff. I've tried a little bit of YouTube stuff. The work that goes into it is so much. And as somebody who just wants to go out and play golf and film a few bits, it like doesn't take the joy out of it, but it definitely becomes something you don't want to think about like after the round. You must have been finding that.
Yeah, I mean, on Friday I played, I think it was my third or fourth social round of golf in the last 2 years.
Right.
Like, I don't play social golf. I said to my missus, like, right, 2026, even if I get myself down to the local golf club and try and play in their midweek medal twice a month, I just want to play. I just want to go out and play golf again. Yeah. I'm sick of just, like, Matt Fry's literally just texted today and going, like, is anyone available to film at the end of November? And I could quite easily sit here now and not hit a golf shot properly until the end of November, and I'll turn up and go, I hope I play well today.
That can't be fun.
I just need to get that out. It's not fun. And then so it's just trying to get back into that groove of just playing more, and I miss it. It is a hobby at the end of the day, and thankfully it's also work, but trying to enjoy it a bit more again.
Yeah, I like the sound of that series because I think it's always, like, as a viewer of those type of series, it's always great to see somebody just progressing, and then the little like tidbits you can take from that into your own game as well. Because I think there is something people say it's like unrelatable watching guys who play on YouTube play golf, and yeah, probably skill level wise it's unrelatable, but time wise it's probably the most relatable thing you can get. Like you were saying, you don't get a lot of time to practice. So what are you doing on the course to scramble around sometimes to get a good score together is something that people could pick up on, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm like everybody else. I'll consume Instagram videos. I'll watch other coaches. I'll listen to some of the stuff they do. And I'll get on that first green and go, oh yeah, Joe Mayo said if I load my left side and just jump up through impact, I'm going to be like, I'm going to be unbelievable around the green. So I'll try that on this first hole, shall I? That'll be a good idea. And then it might come off, or I'll probably duff it. Yeah. And then I'll duff it. I'll look really stupid. I'll be like in my head going, what am I doing? Why have I tried that? And then when one of my students says he does that, I'm like, are you an idiot? And I'm like, I do the same myself.
You're just getting into release 1, release 2, release 3 from Dan Greaves, just out there, just.
Or high, medium, and low.
Oh yeah, that's it.
But yeah, it's exactly it. Like you watch these videos. I watch Dan Greaves, and it goes, "I'll do this release 1," and it's like standard chip shot, high 1, release 2, or whatever number it is, and you go on the golf course and you do it, and you kind of just you just play around with stuff like every player does. But so the idea, what I wanted to try and do was build a relatable series that anyone out there, probably like yourself, that's had kids, loves golf, can't play, and I am in that category. Although I do have a golf YouTube channel, I do coaching, and yes, I have a studio here. Do you think I spend an hour in here hitting golf balls? Absolutely not. There's zero time. It's 8 p.m. now, and I'm generally still working at this time because I'll have done 9 till 4. Kids come home, spend time with the family, and I'll jump back in here for an hour or two each evening, and that's YouTube stuff. That's golf travel stuff, and that's coaching stuff.
Yeah.
So there isn't time to play.
Yeah. It's not glamorous. It's not glamorous, people. You know, they just see the glamorous video every now and again. They don't see all the work that goes in behind it. Talking of like Finch, like did you ever see, like with him, did you ever see where it's got to? Like obviously you've got like a really great following on YouTube as well, but like you said, you've sort of been inspired by what he's done. Did you ever really see that being like what he could get to, if you know what I mean? Like, or he's not even done yet, obviously.
How do you mean do you mean numbers wise on YouTube, or do you mean his level of golf right
Probably
now?
more like recognition in the YouTube space almost. Do you know what I mean? Like you see sort of like with like heading over to like the Internet Invitational and stuff like that, stuff good. You know, you know Pete from like way back in the day. Did you ever see that kind of determination was there from him, or is that like a new thing?
No, he's always had it. I used to so when we worked together coaching in Manchester, we lived together as well. Right. So when he first started doing the YouTube channel, he used to sneak out the apartment early doors The academy didn't open till 10, and then for a couple of mornings he'd be like scrambling around. He's not quiet in the morning, Pete. So you can hear him he's like a wild hog just leaving the apartment. So you could hear him, and then before we knew it, we found out he was going to the top end of the driving range behind all the trees and starting to film his first YouTube videos.
Right.
So no one could
Hiding
see
away.
him. Which is the polar opposite type of person that he's become now, because he can't stop talking about himself now. So yeah, I mean, he's natural. He's obviously come from a journalistic background.
Sure.
He was a journalist before he was a pro.
Mm.
And I think that storytelling side of it has definitely come to the fore.
Mm.
He's got a great team. The lads that he works with, that work for him are awesome. They're as hungry as he is, which I think makes things a million times easier. He doesn't have kids, and he honestly spends his travel monthly travel gives me anxiety. He'll spend a week, a month in his own bed, if that,
Right.
and it won't be consecutive. He's home. He's barely home.
Yeah.
So I can't understand why he's contributing tax to this country. Might as well get it offshore.
The tips you're giving him.
So like, yeah, exactly. Like, he's about to Dubai. No, his work ethic's been really very, very good for a long time, really.
Yeah.
And he's obviously just gone from strength to strength. The US, I think, just unlocks a lot of doors for you, because you can do a lot of really good collaborations to a huge audience. But it's also not the be all and end. If you look at the likes of Tubes, they probably have a bigger UK audience because of who they collaborate with. Finch has done well, and then also what he's done is really well. He's obviously just dedicated time to his game, like a lot of time and practice, because he was crap a couple of years ago, and he's now like, I would openly say right now he's streets ahead of all of us.
It's just that time,
and I think he's kind of
time.
It's just that time, yeah. Fryer's now started to put a bit more time in. Fryer was similar to me. Our kids were born about 2 weeks apart, and his is now 3.5, and suddenly shackles come off a little bit because the kids become a lot easier to maintain, which means you got a bit more time, and he's now kind of dedicating a bit more time to practice as well. So yeah, I think there'll be you know what I'd love to see, honestly, and this I've started thinking this more and more, is like the three of us on the seniors tour in 10 years.
Oh yeah,
I think that'd be epic.
now we're talking. Yeah,
I'd love to be on the Legends tour. I'd love to get my card on the Legends tour. Kids will be 10. I'm out of it. See you in a bit.
That would be so good.
I'm going on the Legends.
As someone who's watched from like, from when you guys like started, that would be like an ultimate moment. That really would.
Oh, honestly, obviously getting to the Open would be the one, but that's unrealistic.
Is that a genuine target though? Like for you, like with this series you've got coming up, is that part of it?
It will. Yeah, I've got to final Open qualifying once before. Probably, I think it must be about 8 years ago. And a really nice knock around West Lancs, shot 1 under. Got to final Open qualifying. Monty was there, and a whole host of European Tour players that obviously weren't exempt were there, and it was a little bit overwhelmed. Not a little bit, massively overwhelming. Felt very out of place. And again, when I look back at that, I was at a time where I still wasn't massively dedicating myself to the game. I kind of played well in the regionals, shot 1 under, won regionals, and then may have been a semi-shot, because I was like, oh, bloody hell, that was quite good. Turned up to the next phase, and you kind of realise that you're in amongst it. I'd love to get to that stage again, just because of where golf is now, especially with the live players. You're playing you're in unbelievable fields. So obviously Finch then played with, but like, did he play with Noren, or was he in another group?
I think
he played with 2 European Tour players, and Noren was also in it, and Westwood was in it. And that's a proper field, and he did really well, in fairness to him. And he'll probably I think he come away from that thinking, had a few things gone his way, he may not still made it, but he'd been 1 or 2 shots shy, which is really not a lot. But you've got another year to go again. So I think it's definitely an ambition. I don't know how realistic it is, but if you keep playing and practicing the way, if he keeps trending the way he's trending, he's got a good chance.
Yeah. Does part of you not wanting to qualify that? There's part of you not wanting to get there though, you know, to be the first one to get there.
I'd love it. I'd love him to, as long as he asked me to be caddy.
Okay, all right, I like it.
Gotta give me and Fryer a day each.
That'd be so good. I don't know if you'd be like helpful or a hindrance though on the day. That's the issue.
I'd be a help, Fryer be a hindrance, to be a pest.
I could see that.
So
I could see that. I think that's what was amazing about the Open, though, isn't it? The fact that anyone whose game is at a point where it's good enough to compete can have a shot at it. And at the end of the day, you are literally just, you know, you're not far away, which is magical.
yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And that's why the dream will always be there. And you can never say never. You can put your realistic hat on and say probably not realistic, but you've got so many kids coming back from the States that are playing off +10 that they can get it round regionals in level par 1 under and get through, and then they've got half a chance at the next stage. But again, they're playing loads of golf. If we're playing loads of golf and we're a little bit more experienced with older heads, a little bit less pressure on ourselves, there's chances.
Yeah.
So
links golf at the end of the day.
You never know.
Links golf is a different
And links
beast.
golf's a good leveler as well.
Yeah.
It is proper golf.
Yeah, I've got a mate who's like a 3 handicapper at the moment. I'm around sort of 9 or 10. And I was like, yeah, but I don't get to practice. You know, you can go and practice as much as you want. I was like, I said, I reckon I'd get to Open qualifying before you. I just threw such a throwaway comment that I've now got to try and like back up because he's slowly getting even better and better. And I'm just like, oh no, why did I say anything?
Set the challenge.
Exactly, yeah, he's totally got the challenge. Do you think, talking of like the US stuff, obviously with the YouTube channel being more consistent over this past sort of like period of time, do you think with your setup the way it is, obviously having the kids and everything like that, do you think there's any scope there for like heading out to the US and doing some filming out there, or is that just something where you're like, that's not for me?
No, I'd love to. I'd love to. I sometimes do look at it, I cringe a little bit and go, you know what, some of the lads that are out there now that they're filming, they're all in their 20s and we're completely different. we're just on different paths.
Yeah.
But I'd like to go out there. There's a few lads I'd like to go and film, like the Bryan brothers. I speak to them a little bit on socials and follow their journey. They're awesome. Yeah. I'd happily go out there and let them kick my ass. But to be honest, like I said, we've got this travel business in Dubai, and we host 3 to 4 pro-ams each winter, generally January, February, and March. So I've always wanted to try and get out to the PGA show in January, but always seems to land on the same dates as Dubai. So again, you've got what's more important. So obviously I could try and get out to the States in the summer. That would be, summer for me is the quietest time of year actually. Right. So there's a potential. There's nothing been even spoken about yet, to be fair. Maybe when number 2 gets into school, when he's about 3 or 4, and then I can preschool when he's 3 or 4, and then I can kind of justify it a little bit easier.
Maybe get those guys to come over to Dubai. You know, there's no hardship for them, is it?
I'd love that. There shouldn't be, no. Why would you not want to?
Yeah, exactly. Bit of night golf. That looks special.
Yeah. Oh, night golf's amazing. Night golf's good fun. It's a little bit kind of, I was going to say gimmicky. It's not gimmicky, but obviously there's certain lies where you can't quite see the ball. And I would say 8 times out of 10, you've got a very good look at the ball anyway, but it's difficult to putt with and stuff. So as long as you don't take it too seriously. But out in Dubai, the sunset is all year round at 6.
Right.
It's between 6 and 7. So it's the only time a lot of players can get out and play. You finish work at 5, that's it, you can't play. At least with us over here in the summer, we can play till 10, half 10, can't we?
Yeah.
So we can have like 4 or 5 months of the year where we can play really, really late. Dubai is never going to have that late kind of golf, but what they do have is 6 months of weather where they can play under nice conditions.
How did you?
So yeah, night golf's good fun.
Did you love Dubai? Like, did you just love being over there? Did you love being part of the Pete Cowan school and everything like that? Was that kind of dream come true?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, really enjoyed it. So when I moved over there, it was actually the European Tour Performance Institute. That's when I got the job originally. Then Pete took it over. Obviously, working with Pete, 3 or 4 times a year for a couple of months was a mega. He's obviously just one of the best ever to do it, really. He was class. And still quite nice to see him now when I go out to Dubai, and he's always kind of good with his time. He'll always come over and have a chat and kind of get a bit of an update on where we're up to and stuff. So it's great to kind of catch up with him. And then, yeah, to be honest, just from a lifestyle perspective, I hate the winter. I absolutely hate winter. So for me, just not even having to open the curtains and knowing I'm putting shorts and t-shirt on, that's enough for me. And that's all I needed. That's all I need in my life.
Smile on your face like every morning, just like, don't.
Just, it does. It make, I know everyone's happier.
Yeah.
I swear to God, everyone's happier. And it's not because they're all on more money and tax-free, because they're not anyway, to be fair. It's just because it's good weather.
Yeah.
It just changes the mentality. It's like here, you know, like you're in the UK on a hot sunny day, everyone's happy, aren't they?
Yeah. England are normally, you know, won a game in the Euros or something, sun shining, beer gardens, golf's possible until 10.
It is the happiest place. Yeah. Everyone's happy.
Is there anything like, because I've spoken to a lot of people from like America and the UK, and we've spoken about what kind of golf culture you'd want to bring in to the UK, you know, from America or from the UK to America. Is there anything in Dubai as far as golf culture that you would think would be like a positive to bring to the UK, or is it very similar in many ways to the US or to the UK?
I would say Dubai is like a real mixture of the two. So Dubai, you probably get the US style service. They're not parking your cars for you, but they're getting the bag. You're dropping your bag off at the door, and the staff are taking it down to your buggy, and your name's on your buggy, and you kind of feel like you've got this kind of five-star service, and all of the golf courses offer that. But then at the same time, it's got a little bit more of the UK element in regards to it's a little bit more relaxed on dress code, to a point where you can play in your trainers.
Right.
They would prefer golf shoes, but your trainers are fine. They'll say you want tailored shorts, but if you turned up in a plain pair of gym shorts, you'd be fine. You don't need a collar, but they prefer it, but they're not going to kick you out. So it's that little bit more relaxed once you get on the golf course. So it's almost like a bit more of a holiday vibe, but with that kind of real nice kind of touch of service as well.
Yeah. I think that is the biggest thing that's possibly missing from the UK market, is that service sort of feature. I mean, I say it on the podcast quite regularly. I just feel like if more halfway huts were just open more regularly, like in the UK.
Yeah, how can you open a halfway hut? It's lazy. There's so much money to be made from.
Yeah.
And they know that as well. Food and beverage is massive income.
Yeah. And it's just the amount of times you'll go and it'll be like a Saturday, and if it's past like 1 o'clock, it's shut. And it's like, how is this not prime like time for you guys to make money? And like even in the winter, agreed. I still don't get why they're shut, because you play golf in the winter, you want a hot drink halfway around. It baffles me every time. And they're good clubs you go to, and they're still not open. It's just like, okay, we don't need necessarily cart girls and all this stuff. Like, I get that. That's probably not feasible. Just having one person in a halfway hut.
Yeah.
It's just...
I know. With the golf course I play, it doesn't even have a hut, but what they do is the marshal goes around and he just drives around with a big fridge on the back.
Perfect.
And like the four of us we played last Friday, and the four of us, a couple of beers each and some chocolate, and it's like suddenly like you've just taken 50 quid, 60 quid.
Yep. Yeah, I was shocked.
Easy.
I was shocked the other day. I was playing a little tournament with some mates, and a guy came round. I thought it was just Marshall just checking we had like things. I thought it was a tournament, what are you doing? But he came round and he's just like, beers? I'm like, what? This is wild.
Yes.
Yes, we will.
I have to say though, it doesn't feel right walking around the golf course with a push trolley in a coat, sipping a beer.
No. Yeah.
I enjoyed the beer, but it felt weird.
It's like you're going to be kicked off.
Like, you know, you're putting it down next to the wheel, knowing that it's a bit soggy ground, it's a bit uneven. You're kind of hoping that you don't forget about it and kick it over. Yeah. Just wasn't as comfortable as I was envisioning my last round of golf, and I had a beer in my hand.
No, it stays cold, which is something. You know, that's something, I guess.
Well, yeah, it stays cold, yeah.
But so do you.
That's true. There's one positive.
Which is the other thing. Where do you see the, like, because the game is like the last 10 years, the last 5 years of golf, the landscape of golf has like changed massively, and you're obviously like in properly in the industry. Where do you see the changes that have happened to be positive? And I don't mean in the sense of we've seen a huge growth in the game, which can only be positive in the sense of, you know, engagement, people turning up and playing the game. But the changes when it comes to, obviously, you've got Live and the PGA, TGL, all these things. Do you think in some ways it might water down the product, or do you think it's just it's good? It's good for the game.
I can probably see both sides of it, to be honest. A lot of my frustrations with tours like the DP World Tour, they've actually got everything that every player wants, yet they still don't see that, and they act like a feeder club to the PGA Tour. Like the amount of players that we lose the 10 best players on the tour every year to the PGA Tour. Why? Because they go and make more money, of course. Why would you not? I mean, it's an absolute no-brainer. Why they didn't? They should have just sucked it up and partnered with Live and the Asian Tour, and that the DP World Tour would be massive. It would be a world tour, probably, possibly, potentially, whatever, bigger than the PGA Tour from the amount of investment and money that was going to be there, and then the players coming over. I feel like they missed the trick there. Looking at the order of merit for this year, Marco Penge, for example, he'd be stupid not to go to America for a few months next year and miss a few DP World Tour events for the potential of making massive money, big points for big world ranking points that get him into other events, like gets him into the Ryder Cup for a damn man. It gets him into the majors because of the size of the events over there. So I feel like they've missed a trick, which is frustrating. Live's gone stale and a bit boring to me. I enjoyed it the first. I was quite involved actually in the Saudi International a couple of years for the 2 years before Live existed. When we were like on the ground in Saudi and listening to all these rumors about this breakaway tour, and everyone was there. Don't forget, Shane Lowry was there. Tommy Fleetwood was there. They were all there. They all had conversations. They were all interested in the money to start with. And then when Live came, it kind of looked a bit more interesting. I remember going to one of the events, and one of the lads from Ritters, I can't remember his name now, but he held his eagle. I'll never forget, because he held an eagle pitch on the 18th. It was his 18th, but he was so far down the leaderboard. So it wasn't his 18th, it was the 18th on the hole. He started on like hole 6 because he was so far down the leaderboard. But he's like fist pumping, like he's tied 50th. I'm thinking, what the hell was he tied? Was he fist pumping that for? But then that eagle took the Rippers to the top of the leaderboard because of how well the other 3 lads were doing. So like they always had something to play for. And I thought if they can just keep playing on that somehow and keeping everyone engaged in the round no matter where they are, rather than always just looking for that last group to see who wins. And I always thought that kind of really stood out to me in the first Live event that I went to. But I think it feels like from there it's just gone a bit stale. There's always the talk of money, which is fine. You can't. I just don't think, as anybody in any business, if someone offers you quadruple the money, you go in. Like, come on, let's be serious. There's no one in any walk of business that's doing it. Just because they were already earning 10 million a year, they want to earn 40. That's up to them. They want a bigger plane and a better car and a bigger house. Okay, that's what they do. If we go from earning 50 grand to 100 grand or to 200 grand, if you go from earning 50 grand to 200 grand, your life changes. They go from 10 million to 40 million. Weirdly enough, their life changes a little bit as well. So I just think that if you get outside of the money thing, the actual product's just gone a bit meh. I think they need to almost be a little bit more cutthroat and gone, we're not going to give a new contract to Graham McDowell, DJ. You guys are not really giving us much anymore. Poulter, Westwood, you're not offering good golf, and you're clearly here just for the money. Your contract's done. Out you go. Let's get some new blood in. And I think they could have really pushed it again, but I'm sure it wouldn't have been cheap either. So I can't figure out how it would kind of get going again unless the DP World Tour or the PGA Tour kind of welcomed it in.
I think you made 2 great points. I think on the Live thing, I never get the best event that they do all year is the team event at the end of the year. Like that's by hands down like the best thing to watch because you understand it. Like, it's simple. They're working as a team together to win the team prize. The whole thing of it being this individual sport, but also a team element, just gets confusing to watch. You're sort of like, the whole time you're sort of like, I don't know whether to root for an individual or to root for a team. And I get that the big thing that's always made of it is it takes time, right? Because it's got no heritage to it. It takes time to build a fan base and whatever it may be. But it's hard to build a fan base when it's still an individual sport that you're just chucking a team element into. They need to pick a lane almost on that. And I think with the DP World Tour stuff, I think you're absolutely right. I think that would have been not only huge for the DP, but also huge for what Live is as well and what that's trying to be. Because you immediately injected heritage into Live by it being a DP World Tour Live combination. Because then you're going to have all these events that are countries like majors, huge, they're opens, and they're going to be part of this other tour. It does seem like a no-brainer. It was just almost like they kind of got bullied into this weird partnership with the PGA that wasn't really a partnership, like you said. Which
is strange in itself, though, because if you think about it, about whenever it was, 5-10 years ago, the European Tour sold its own name to be called the DP World Tour. DP World is a UAE-based business.
Yeah.
So they're not exactly maintaining their own heritage because they got rid of what was the European Tour. Well, people still call it the European Tour because they can't quite get their head around it's not called the European Tour anymore. So they've already sold themselves down the river. So actually, while you're over there, the European Tour's head office is in Dubai. Like while you're over there, team up. Like, you've got this unbelievable opportunity now. You've all got billions in the bank.
Yeah.
You can make this unbelievable.
No.
Hey.
But it's just,
Who are we?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it solves the issues, but that's long gone down the river, hasn't it? That whole thing. And now it would be like, it's kind of got to the point where I feel like the whole golfing world is just like completely like apathetic towards the whole. It's just like, almost where people couldn't care less anymore. There's just 2 tours now.
Everyone's given up.
There's 2 tours now.
There's one tour that I watched. The DP World Tour is still the only tour that I could watch, purely on the basis that the players are more interesting and the golf courses are more interesting.
Yeah.
And it is just everything about it is, and probably maybe because we're European anyway, but just feels a lot more relatable and much more interesting and more enjoyable to watch. Yeah. Different countries, different golf courses, different weather, obviously we've got the UK players are doing incredible at the moment. So obviously there's the European players, so we can watch them for the Ryder Cup sort of thing. So the DP World Tour just feels like it's always been so much more watchable to me personally. Yeah. Also, I think it's probably time of the day that it's on as well,
which helps. Yeah, I mean, you see with like Rory going over to like India and playing that event, like, one that's huge, and he made some interesting comments afterwards as well of the fact that his schedule is going to change. Like, I think because he's done everything he kind of set out to do, this year's been unbelievable for him. Yeah. That he can now have a look at his schedule and go like, where do I want to apply my trade like more often? Like, he's obviously going to play obviously he's going to play PGA Tour events still, but the fact that he was able to go over to India and play like a really cool golf course that's totally different.
Yeah, Delhi's nice.
Yeah. It felt like when he took driver out the bag, it almost felt like as an amateur golfer, you're like, this is quite a relatable event. This is, that's how I feel like every weekend. Like, just take driver out the bag.
Yeah, it's just that his 2 iron goes to 80.
Yeah, we can ignore that. We don't need to look at that part. But like I said, it's something I need to watch more of this year because I sort of just grew up watching Golf Channel and it's all very American and everything like that, and PGA Tour has always been like this sort of thing to watch and everything, but I do need to watch some more DP World Tour events this year, and hopefully players can start moving over and they can do some sort of crazy flip on the whole thing, but it seems unlikely now, doesn't it? That's the trouble.
Does at the moment, yeah. Does at the moment. Well, you never know. Things can change quickly.
Yeah.
Especially when there's a few checks flying around.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe it will come together again. Who knows? And Like TGL, you got any thoughts on TGL? Like as we get into season 2 soon.
Genuinely, I've never watched I've only ever watched anything that's popped up on Instagram.
Right.
I've got zero interest in it. I mean, golf simulators. For me, they just serve a purpose for practice, and I just can't. I've seen like some of the clips, and you think, oh, is it? They're dressed like as if they're on the golf course, and it all just looks a bit forced. It's just not. It's not for me.
Yeah. It was weird.
It's not for me.
It was weird. I really wanted to enjoy it because it was just more golf. You know, Monday night there's golf to watch. That's kind of cool, I guess. But I think they were trying to make characters out of golfers, which is like a weird thing to try and do. It all did seem very forced. The technology didn't work, which was mind blowing for this day and age. Like you had it was way off. Like you had missed shots, the lot, and you just sort of think, you know, if
you do get that with launch monitors, but they're obviously using full swing launch monitor as well, which is the newest one on the market, which is not the safest thing to do. If you're just trying to launch a new product, you're probably better going down the line of something that's already established. Especially with TrackMan, so like you can get a few of them out there, or the GC quads and whatever, you get a few. Yeah, I mean, I know. So the academy I used to work at is now the Tommy Fleetwood Academy. So I know the lad, all my old colleagues are still working there. And one of the lads went to one of the TGL events because after Tommy had played one of the PGA Tour events, they had to they literally had to finish, get on a jet, fly across to wherever was it LA or something where they do the TGL. He did TGL. Then as soon as he finished TGL, he had to get back on a jet, back to Europe, which is playing DP World Tour on Thursday.
Right.
And like the problem is with this sort of thing as well, is that they're squeezing in another product that they're trying to make massive. You're putting all this time on the best players because they're the ones that people want to watch, but they can't. Golf's exhausting. So then to have walked, if you play PGA Tour in America, you're not playing 4 rounds of golf. You're actually playing 6. You're probably playing 5.5, but you've walked 36. Then you're playing 72. Then you're getting on a jet. Then you're doing whatever you're doing, which takes a lot of energy, and you got to stick everything into it, playing 18 holes on a sim or whatever it was. Then you're back on a plane, then you're going to the next place, you're getting your jet lag, then you can walk in the golf course and you're starting again. I couldn't think of anything worse, to be honest. But then it's like, how can you create a product that you want to make so successful? It's just not time restraints surely don't allow it to kind of flourish as well as it could do.
Yeah, I think they don't want to acknowledge the fact it's a hit and giggle. Like they don't want to acknowledge that fact, but that is what it is. And I think because of what it is, lean into it. Like don't use all the tour players, rotate tour players, use your long drive guys, like elevate that side of golf. Like that, you know, the long drive guys would be awesome to watch on it. You got like your Carl Berkshires, your Scotty Pearmans, like they went out there and started hitting like 400-yard bombs. That's fun to watch. And then you've got a whole space which has literally been built from entertainment in the golf arena of the YouTube guys. You know, you get a team, you get you, Fryer and Finch out there, you know, joining up with like.
I think they stand a bit higher than us for, but I know what you mean.
It save themselves some money. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, you know. So, but you know,
I do free.
I think they're just missing the trick of recognizing where they actually are. But I think the trouble is you've got Tiger at the helm of it, and he takes golf very seriously in every single form. And it's just like, I mean, the guy's injured himself warming up.
He can't move anyway.
Warming up to get back to golf, which is just insane, the amount of times he's done that.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Do you think he's done? You think he's done?
I think he's done now. Yeah, it's a shame. I feel like he's actually... It sounds ridiculous, bit of a bold claim, but I just don't feel like he's just not even reached the levels he should have reached. No, let me rephrase that.
Careful.
He reached the levels anywhere, like, his career should have been another 15 years at that level.
Yeah.
He just damaged himself, doesn't he, really? So,
do you think when he was at like his peak, like the 2001, 2002 sort of era, and then he went through all those swing changes. Do you think that you're a golf coach? Would you look at that and go, why? Like, why are you doing that? Or is that just part of
Not
him?
really. It'd have been part of him. A lot of players, like, if you remember back, Keimer got to world number one, then wanted to change from a fade to a draw.
Yeah.
Westwood got to world number one, wanted to make swing changes. They all seem to do it, and that's also then part of the reason why they got there in the first place. I think from a golf perspective, it can never, ever, I can't, certainly without any sort of information, question why Tiger would do something. Or just all of his stuff, obviously, off the golf course is what's ruined him, hasn't it? Which is a shame, but that is the path he chose. That's the path he chose.
Yeah.
But I just feel like his career at that top level that he got to should have been longer. Whether in like natural injury, like in terms of just golf injuries, might have kind of brought him down a little bit as well, but I think just too much went on in his life, didn't it?
Yeah. Sort of the Tiger phenomenon that it was just kind of took over, didn't it, really? I think, it's just, it is a shame because you just want to see somebody like that cemented as the greatest of all time. And in many people's minds, he is. I think probably in my mind, he is. But,
in mine it is.
But it would have been nice, wouldn't it, to just know it factually, like to see the numbers.
Just for another 10 years of it. Just wanted 10 more years.
Yeah, that's all we want.
Then you can go off and do what you want. But just give us 10 more years. I wanted that 10 more years. Self-fulfill. So
it feels like this last.
I suppose it all.
Yeah, last surgery seems like it was more of a making your life better rather than trying to get back to golf. Which is a shame.
Yeah, I think someone's had to have had a word there, haven't they?
Yeah. They're like, enough now. Stop rupturing your Achilles. We don't need that anymore.
We're done.
Well, Andy, honestly, from my perspective, it's been really cool to have you on the podcast because.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No, it's no problem at all. I mean, I've been watching YouTube for such a long time, and like the originals days of you, Thor and Finch, like getting out there and playing and stuff is super cool to now see where you guys are now, and the fact that you're still in the space and that you still got a passion for your coaching and everything like that, but also now with the YouTube sort of picking up another level, it's really cool, mate. And it was just great to hear your perspective on things. And I'm glad everything's all right as well in personal life as well. That everything went well with that and everything's settled.
Appreciate it. Cool. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Cheers, Dave.
Thanks, Andy. Cheers, mate.